Hi, my name is George Anderson with REI Branded Home Buyer. That's REI Branded Home Buyer in Spokane, but we also buy houses in all of Washington. If you want to go to our website, www.reibrandedhomebuyer.com, check us out. There's a form on there. If you're looking to sell a house, you can fill that out and we'll try to get back to you within 24 hours. Obviously, we don't work all night. We like to spend time with our families and on the weekends, but we are there to help you out as much as we can. Today's topic is about probate, okay? What is probate? Probate is a legal process that addresses the estate of a deceased individual. Its objective is to ensure that any outstanding debts and taxes are paid, and ultimately any remaining assets are distributed amongst the beneficiaries and or heirs, okay? An estate can just be anybody's belongings, real estate, cars, pets, and this can be very contentious sometimes amongst siblings and or other heirs. And I just want to let you know that this can be very challenging for some people, but also it's very necessary part of the process, okay, when somebody passes away. So step one, you're going to petition the file, or the petition is filed to begin the process of probate, okay? So upon locating your will of the deceased, your very first step will be filing a petition with your respective probate court. This petition can be done with a probate attorney. Oh, by the way, I'm not a real estate attorney. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm just talking about things that I've seen. That's my full disclaimer, okay? I'm not here to give you financial advice either. That's not what I do. Again, step one is petitioning the file. And that probate attorney, you need to find a good probate attorney. They'll take care of it and handle all that stuff for you, okay? This is when you give the will to them. And if there's no will, they'll figure that out for you too, okay? One person will be named the executor. And the executor of the estate is basically the person who is responsible for carrying out the responsibilities of the deceased wishes that was laid out in their will, okay? That is the person who is in charge. This is where the most stress can come from, because there could be a lot of siblings that are going to you and looking to you to make sure that you make those final decisions, okay? We need one person that's in charge, that's leadership, right? That leadership everybody looks to, and it can be very stressful in certain situations. Again, there's a step two, your notice will be given. Basically what happens is the court accepts your probate petition. They will issue a first hearing date. And upon receiving this date, you must take the important step of publishing and providing notices regarding the hearing, okay? These notices are sent out to known heirs, beneficiaries, and creditors, and you must publish it in the local newspaper. This typically goes about 3 times. This gives enough time for creditors to come forward and say, yeah, I do have a debt that is filed as a lien against this property. We need to get our money back. Unfortunately, that's the case for most people because we borrow money to purchase houses, vehicles, and whatnot. This is a very important step, folks, okay? Step 3, your first probate hearing. You will attend the first scheduled probate hearing. If it all goes smoothly, then the judge will verify that the will is valid and will admit it to probate. They will also formally appoint an executor or a personal representative to the estate. So step 2, you're going to find out, okay, we need to figure out who the executor is going to be. That is all agreed upon with the siblings. Step 3, during the hearing, then the executor is appointed. However, in many cases, this is what I've seen too, there can be challenges that can result in delays. Maybe an heir or another interested party of the estate is challenging that they're the one that's in charge, or they're challenging the validity, there you go, of the estate or of the will. So is the will real or is it not? And I've seen this in one case where somebody actually had a person that was about to pass away changed their will at the very end, and it didn't get notarized by somebody. That can cause problems, right? Again, we're all human, we all make mistakes, and we all do things that we should or shouldn't do, right? So during that process, you're going to figure out, okay, is it valid, this will? All right. Step 4, there's an inventory of estate assets. So the executor needs to come up with, or personal representative needs to create an inventory of the real estate assets, or not the real estate assets. I'm sorry, I'm talking about real estate. I'm in real estate. I don't really deal with all the other stuff other than the real estate inside of probate, okay? There are estate assets in the property, including the valuation of, there's a valuation of each item. So each item could be valued at a certain cost. That way people know where all the cash and all the accounts and investments need to go when it gets all divvied up. As an executor, you're legally responsible for managing these assets and preserving their value as best as you can. That means you need to do it in the best interest of the entire inheritance portfolio. If the descendant owned a home, there must be, within reason, secure it and monitor to help prevent theft or vandalism. You don't want your assets to get destroyed in the process, right? Because when people notice that these things are vacant, when houses are vacant, especially in low income neighborhoods, they're mid-income neighborhoods also, somebody will try to move in. And here in Washington, people that live inside the house are very hard to get rid of. Squatting rights in Washington, that's a whole new topic that we can talk about too in another video, but squatters are very difficult to get rid of. During this step, you want to identify creditor debts and disclose them to the court. You want to make sure that the claims are filed as a result of the probate notices, okay? Again, this is only informational purpose only. I'm not giving advice. This is what is out there for everybody else to read, okay? Step 5, the estate asset distribution plan is created and submitted to the court. During this process, an estate asset distribution plan refers to a comprehensive strategy outlining how the assets of the deceased individual's estate will be distributed amongst all the heirs. Then this typically involves several key steps. First of all, the debts, the taxes, the expenses of the estate are settled with the creditors. This may also include maybe paying off the mortgage on the property, any cars or vehicles for that matter. It doesn't matter, depending on what the financials of that person are, okay? If there's no valid will, or if there's certain aspects that are not addressed in the will, the distribution plan will follow interstate succession, which will determine the distribution of assets among the closest surviving relatives. Okay, and that's generally just agreed upon between everybody. Step 6, the estate assets are bestowed upon the heirs. So when everything at the very end, and this is last but not least, comes the final stage of probate. And basically, this is where all the assets get distributed. In this time, the executor is the one that in my case, I'm the home buyer, right? I can go to the executor and I can say, yeah, I would love to buy that property. The executor can sell me the property, and that money goes into the inheritance fund. And then it could be distributed to all of the heirs after that. So this makes it very simple, and it'll streamline the possibility of getting paid out a lot quicker too, right? There's a lot less larger assets. Again, this can be easy. It could be a little bit difficult depending on who the heirs are. I've actually seen some really great cases where it just quickly done. And fortunately, I've been able to help people in this situation as far as purchasing the property that is inherited with all the heirs. They just all agreed, you know what, let's just sell it to REI Branded Home Buyer at this price, and we come in, we purchase it, the money goes into the account, it gets distributed at the very end of the probate sequence. Okay. Again, if you want to learn more about how REI Branded Home Buyer works, you could go to our website and you could check out and read all of our reviews on Google. I'll post our Google reviews at the very bottom of this video. Please subscribe to our channel and hope that our information is going out the best we can. Again, we operate within Washington, and every state is different. Okay? We are not lawyers. We are not financial advisors. We're not real estate attorneys or agents. We just purchase houses and we buy and flip houses. We buy houses with cash in Washington, and we'll close within 30 days. Our fastest close was 4 days. Believe it or not, that was crazy. A lot of lenders will want to know, or will want the full 30 days, but we will do it quickly. As long as title is clear and there's no cloud on title, we can close within 4 days if there's a very imminent needs to happen right now. That 4-day close happened right before Christmas of last year, so 2024 Christmas. The person gave us a call and said, we need to sell our property as fast as possible. Everybody goes on vacation from Christmas, basically the day before Christmas to January 1st. So nobody wanted to come back to work, and this house really needed to sell so that they could purchase another house right before Christmas. An early Christmas present for them and their family. That was also in a probate situation. And we were able to just help them out. And you can read about that on our reviews also. That was a fun time. But again, we're not here to give advice. We're only here to give out what other people are putting out on the web and just putting the best foot forward here and trying to do the best. Again, go to www.reibrandedhomebuyer.com. If you need to sell a house, there's a form on there. Fill that form out, and within 24 hours, we'll get back to you, and we'll get an appointment set so we can come out and check out your home. You all have a blessed day. We'll talk to you in the next video.